I'm not a professional golfer. I failed. I got a master's. I didn't go to med school. I failed. But like all of those failures led me to where I am right now. I wouldn't trade my life for anybody.
How did you get into stand-up?
Childhood trauma, you know, and therapy's too expensive. My parents especially, coming out to them as a comedian was like coming out of the closet. My dad told me, he's like, you did well. I don't understand. Your jokes suck, but good job. And that was the only time in my life he's told me that he's proud of me.
My dad's highest form of complimenting was not bad.
I have therapy every night when I go up on stage. I get to do my therapy to a crowd and take the power away from my problems.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's CATAMANIA episode. Really fun how this recording worked out because I have with me here today in Vancouver a guest from Toronto, although I had to ask him one of those questions of where you from because I know he's not from Toronto. He's from my part of the world, Mr. Matthew
Puzhitsky.
Puzhitsky.
That's a Polish last name.
It is.
Yes. Yeah.
My grandmother was Oczynskaya.
There we go.
Which was also Polish.
Yeah.
So.
But we're, my family is like mostly Russian, some Ukrainian, a little bit of German, and, all the Slavic,
typical sprinkle mix.
The Eastern Europe mix. But, and there we go. Yeah. Polish. So it's all of that. I always tell people with this, obviously with the political stuff going on, right? Like all the Slavic people were the same.
We're
right?
exactly the same.
Give us some vodka and we're having a good time. That's all. That's how we're going to fix the problems in the world. Some vodka.
I agree with you. Realizing that we're all actually a fun bunch and we actually love each other.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing about us too. People like our content is based off of us being super serious and we don't smile at, I think we have a low bullshit threshold. You know what I mean? All the daily little pleasure. And she's like, hi, how you doing? How's the weather? No time for that.
No.
But like a little vodka and some deep talk and we're best friends.
Even like 5 minutes. Like I need to first examine, analyze. What are you all about? You know?
Yeah.
And then I can open up. But I'm not going to be like right away smiling at you. I don't know you.
Yeah,
you don't deserve my
exactly.
smile. I'm not going to give it away for you just because you're there.
Yeah.
You have to deserve it a little. You have to say something to me or,
Yeah.
But at first, I'm going to be a little bit suspicious of.
Dude, I talk about it in my act all the time. Like people in this country, even though I was born in this country, but like the way we were raised, like all this, our Slavic energy, we can't keep up with the positivity. Too many smiles. It would just be on the street at like 7 a.m. Some guy's like, hi, how you doing? How's the weather? And I'm like, it was good until you showed me your teeth,
It's 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Like,
relax.
What do you think? Yes, exactly. But if they need help, if someone needs us to, I don't know, if someone needs to know where to go, we will help and we will eventually smile, just not right away. The smile happens at the end of the conversation, not at the beginning.
Exactly. Yes. No fake smiles from us. You got to earn that smile.
You got to earn the smile.
Earn it.
You got to earn everything. You can just have, the universe is not just going to open up and show it to you.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
You have to earn everything you have.
There is no manifestations. There is work, hard work.
Exactly. And then you maybe
you manifest
get
with blood, sweat, and tears.
With blood, sweat, and tears, you wouldn't even be guaranteed to get an apartment in the building right behind you. We put this, for those of you who are watching this on video, we troubled the owner of the studio to find us some very quintessential pictures of the building where most of those of you who grew up in our part of the world grew up. So you wouldn't even be guaranteed an apartment there. My grandma had to wait, she was one of higher ups in her organization. She was doing the labor and trade or something.
Yeah.
And she had to wait for years to get an apartment in that building.
Yeah. But then, no mortgage.
No mortgage.
Yeah.
And your son lives with you and his wife and
and all their children. And it's a family vibe. But look at the beautiful, it's a Хрущевка. Хрущевка.
Do you speak Russian?
Да, я говорю по-русски, да. I'm a little stupid right now. Yeah, I couldn't pronounce it. Tongue-tied.
It's
I love
hard.
like we should have just like sometimes in my act like I start in character and I just go and then eventually I'm like, oh, that accent is tiring, and then it's like a switch, you know
Isn't
what I mean?
it? People are like, turn on your accent. I'm like, honestly, it's kind of hard. Let me. I worked really hard to have this accent in English, so it's hard for me to switch now. I have to actually like be in the mood for it.
Yeah. For me, I was like, well, my great grandma raised me while my parents were working, so I spent like my infant years with her. So my first language was Russian because she didn't speak. She came here at an older age, and it's hard to pick up a new language at that age. So she only spoke Russian and Ukrainian actually. But so my first language was Russian, and then when I went to school, like kindergarten and stuff, then I picked up English. So my first language is Russian, but at this point I'm way more comfortable speaking English. And my wife, we were saying she's from Siberia, Surgut, right? So her first language is Russian, and we switch between the two unless we're arguing. Then we kind of resort to the factory settings. Whichever language does the most psychological damage, we kind of, you know.
and which one is that usually?
Oh, dude, of course, I never win. Russian win. She comes in like a James Bond villain on a Tuesday. Иди сюда, Матвей, я тебя люблю, блядь. I'm like, holy shit, it's Tuesday. How does it like also
you can't we have the best like swearing too. So if you're really angry, I find if I get to a level where I'm actually really angry, I need to express something, English just shuts down because there's just not how do you describe to someone who is горы подошел ко мне, блядь? But how do you explain that, you know?
You can't. That's why, again, my first language is English until I get cut off in traffic. Then I'm Russian as fuck, okay? Like I just switch.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's do you know that Russian swearing is based on a dialect called Fenya?
No, I didn't know that.
You know what Fenya is?
No.
It's a Russian dialect they speak in prison. So it's based on an entire dialect, like Russian dialect that they only speak in prison. So it's like a science. You can get a PhD in that stuff. You know what I mean?
I low-key learned the jargon from the 90s mafiosos because I really love chanson. Especially like Mikhail Krug, that era.
Mm-hmm.
And they speak it's not even swearing per se. It's just certain phrases that are like, you can't understand them because it's not typical language that normal people use, is the language that prisoners use. And my parents would get really scared when I would tell them that because they're like, why are you listening to that stuff? You live in Canada. And I'm like, I don't know, it just makes me feel at home.
Yeah. So, but swearing in Russian is the best. If you haven't learned, like, you know, you should give it a try. It's fun.
There's a page called Curse Like a Russian. Have you seen it?
Yeah. No, I haven't. No.
Oh, that's my favorite.
But it makes a lot of sense.
The girl she's an animator.
Okay.
So she will, it's hilarious. Like if you're listening to this right now and you haven't checked it out yet, do yourself a favor. You will laugh for hours. She's an animator and she'll draw like a who is gari and then have a description.
That's crazy.
With pronunciation and what everything means. Like Yebun Kalatun. She has like it's phenomenal. It's so funny. I love that page.
Yeah, because like it's just if you're mad at someone and you know, like say again, like the clear example, like someone cuts you off in traffic, what are you gonna be like? Oh, you dummy? No, then now you cut off from traffic and you sound like a loser. You gotta like pull up to them, roll your window down, look them in the eye, and go, "Чё, охуел, долбоёб, блядь?" And then you feel like a man, you know what I mean?
Even though they probably don't understand you.
Yeah, they don't get it, but you sound like
you just feel better about yourself.
And dude, it's scarier if they don't understand. You sound like a James Bond villain, you know?
They don't want to mess with you.
They don't want to mess with you.
They're like, oh, no, I think I know where that accent's
from. This guy definitely has mob ties. I'm going to go ahead and... It's like here also, like the driving here and stuff. Like, I feel like we're in Canada, so people here are nicer. And... yeah, it's like we were talking about with all the niceness. It's very superficial. I don't know. Maybe driving here is better than in the States because here, you put your blinker on, everybody's like, oh yeah, go ahead, bud. You know. But
Vancouver downtown can be tricky. Like people definitely honk and they get a little bit more aggressive with you, but nothing compared to Eastern Europe for sure. In Eastern Europe, it's like if you just for a second snooze.
Yeah, that whole thing with the pedestrians here, how the cars stop, we don't do that. Yeah,
we don't do that.
Yeah.
But you know, they started doing that now back home in Moldova. I'm like eating the microphone. On some streets, not all streets, but like on main streets, because I think they started ticketing people for real. But for the most part, that like growing up, they don't stop.
You got to watch for the cars.
You got to watch for the cars. It doesn't matter if there's a crosswalk. So how did you get into stand-up? I know we were chatting a little bit before that, but just a curious like path to embark on. And what was your background before that?
Childhood trauma, and therapy's too expensive.
Great. I like that.
Yeah,
what is therapy anyway? I don't get it. Everybody's in therapy these days.
Hey, just don't be debil. Save money, push your feelings down. No, but yeah, my parents, I have a great relationship with them now, but it's nothing special, you know what I mean? It wasn't like it's the typical Slavic, like strict parents, doctor, lawyer, or failure. And, they don't hit me or anything. They use a belt. It's fine. But they, like the way I grew up, I was in sports and I always had something that I was like, first I started in judo. I had a really high level in judo.
Of course, you started in judo. My brother also started in judo.
Yeah. It is. Russians are good at judo. There's combat sambo and judo are big there. And wrestling.
We have Trinta in Moldova. Those of you who, my fellow Moldovans. Yeah.
There we go. So started in judo. Like it's all I did. I won like U.S. juniors, like nationals. And I was like 13 or 14 and I had some bad knees and a bad back. And my parents are like, okay, well, that's not good. He's so young. And I know actually a lot, like, with gymnastics and dancing, parents kind of force you to keep doing it, but my parents were actually, maybe it's because they were in Canada already. They're like, okay, no judo, golf. Like the opposite end of the spectrum, you know what I mean?
From judo to golf.
To golf, yeah.
They were like, well, you can't play sports, so go to golf.
Yeah.
Golf is like...
And then I got obsessed with golf and, I got pretty good too, but I wasn't able to go pro or anything. And this whole time, like since I was a kid, I would, because of maybe the stricter environment, which I appreciate now because it made me who I am, but I always used humor as a defense mechanism with my buddies, in sports and always like, cause, and I still to this day, like I don't do therapy because like I'm a stand-up comedian. I have therapy every night when I go up on stage. I get to do my therapy to a crowd and take the power away from my problems by laughing at them, right? And when people give me like when they laugh at my jokes, I'm like, oh, I'm not alone, right? So it's normal, it's fine, right? But yeah, so, and then I did an open mic and one thing led to another and, I never stopped and now I'm doing stand-up, so.
Do you think most stand-up comedians have some form of trauma or comedians or people who do comedic content?
I was talking about this to a comedian yesterday. I was talking about to a female comedian. She was like talking about trauma and I used to think so. I think everybody has trauma.
Yeah.
There's nobody that we're human. If you don't have trauma, who are like, I asked her, right? I'm like, what's a perfect life for you, right? She's like, oh, if you grow up with rich parents, you have money, you went to high school, but still had friends. She was listing all these things. And it's like, okay, then you're just describing like a trust fund kid.
Right.
Those people are usually like, who wants to hang out with them? No, like, you have no flavor. Like, so.
And they usually have a lot of their own problems too.
Yeah, you end up,
it's not like
you end up doing drugs and, killing
yeah.
I don't know how we were talking about. I'm gonna try to keep it PG.
Yeah. No, it's you are not guaranteed to have like a soft upbringing. And then I'm not saying that because people are gonna misinterpret it and be like, because I once posted a video about how every adult that I know has gotten their fair share of wooden spooning when they were a kid.
Yeah.
Who is like a decent adult. Every adult that I know who's turned out to be a decent adult, who have their act together, they had their fair share of a wooden spoon.
I love how you turned it into
belt,
a verb. Yeah. Yeah.
And I got so much hate online, like, oh my God, you're promoting child abuse. And I'm like, no, the wooden spoon isn't even necessarily a physical thing. It's like how your parents would look at you when you would do a certain thing. My mom didn't even have to actually like
Isn't that crazy how Slavic parents and immigrant parents in general, I noticed a lot of like, Indian, Asian, like parents coming to my shows, how an immigrant parent turns a spoon, like how scary they can make a spoon. Like imagine a guy trying to rob you with a spoon. You'd be like, go home, bro. I'm not scared. Your mom, though?
Your mom.
With a wooden spoon when she...
With that Soviet, silver spoon that we had. I don't even know who the...
Wooden, the one that...
The 3 types of spoons that were made in the Soviet Union. This gigantic one. And she would look at me and be like, CRISTINA!
Yeah. Oh, and when she says your name and you're like, and you're in Russian, just, Matthew! Fucking... Oh, God, that... I almost shit my pants just there. It brought me back. Yeah. So, back to the comedian thing. I think it's a human thing to have trauma. I just think that the people that gravitates towards stand-up maybe have a little bit more, because it's like there's so many other things to do. Why are you gonna go? Because to get good at stand-up, you have to eat a lot of shit for a long time. People have okay first sets where there's like I did an open mic. I was last. It was like just two drunk guys and like the guy who was running the show, and I said some things, and I got a few chuckles, and something it lit a fire in me. I remember I only actually started, I wanted to do it my whole life. When I was cleaning out my office in my childhood home where my parents live, I found a picture that I drew, like a little comic strip that I must have been in like, grade 3, of me on stage with a microphone telling a joke. And it was 2 strips. It's like a guy walks into a bar, and then the second one is ouch. So I drew like a comic of me bombing on stage. I'm like, this is so like meant to be. So I was thinking of it forever, but I didn't try it until I met my wife, and she actually was very supportive. That's why, I owe so much to her. She's super supportive. And obviously my parents especially, they're like, I had to, coming out to them as a comedian was like coming out of the closet.
Yeah.
I had to sit them down and be like, guys, because I have a master's degree in synthetic organic chemistry. I was doing the whole, I did the MCAT. I was going to go to med school. I had to sit them down. I had to be like, hey guys, I wanted to tell you something. I want you to be very open-minded. My dad just looks at me. He's like, I knew it. He's gay. I'm like, no, Dad. I just want to pursue my dreams and do stand-up comedy. He's just like, better if you were gay. But she was super supportive, and I did it, and I came home, and she thought I had done cocaine or something because I was so hyped and full of adrenaline. And she supported me, and it's kind of worked out. So yeah, that's how I got into it. I don't know if I would have ever had the confidence to do it if it wasn't for her, because I wanted to for so long, and I just didn't. It was that the mentality of like, this is what you have to do. You have to follow, get a degree, I was listening to my parents.
Right. How could you not? That spoon, it like stays with you.
Yeah. But as much as I make fun of them for that now, and I understand where they're coming from. They're coming from a place of love, and they don't like the world today with the the content that you're doing. There's so many opportunities that they just don't understand because they're from a different universe.
Of course.
So I totally get it.
And they're all about security. They had a situation where, I always say this, a country, like imagine Canada collapses tomorrow, God forbid.
Yeah.
And the whole system is gone. There's nothing. The money, everything is gone. You have to start, the whole country has to start from scratch. That's what they had to go through. So to them, not to go down the traditional path and not to have that security of being a doctor, being a lawyer, being an accountant, so on and so forth, is unimaginable. I remember I told my mom I'm no longer going to be an auditor, and now I was trying to explain to her, I'm like, I'm going to be a content creator. And she's like,
yeah,
what's that? And I'm like, Mom, have you been on Instagram? And she's like, yeah, I go there to laugh at stuff.
Yeah.
And I told her, and she's like, that doesn't sound very serious. And I'm like, you know what? Let me figure this out, and then I'll reconnect with you in a few months.
Yeah.
And then for a while there, she stopped asking me about my career and started asking questions about my husband strictly. For a long time, my family was like, so how is his work? Good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And they wouldn't ask anything about
Same
me.
thing. I feel like we're the same, but flip, because your husband has a job, my wife has a job. So my parents always tick up on her. They're like, oh, how's your job going? You're gonna get the raise. You're gonna get where do you go from here? They want her to, and she's happy to, because that's the best, having a partner like that, as I'm sure you can relate to. You guys, we talk about our own plans. She's very supportive. I'm sure he's supportive of you.
Very.
So that's all you need. You get that love you get from your partner, because they're like your partner, right? That's the validation. Yeah, I'm very, so as opposed to a lot of comedians are messed up, and they hang out with other messed up people that are comedians, and it kind of reinforces itself. And I started comedy from a place of, after I met my wife. So I think it was from a healthier place, and I tried to, and maybe that's a reason that I've had so much success, because I don't have, I hear, when you start, people old comedians that are have been in the business, maybe haven't done what they wanted to do. They're like, oh yeah, you're you're smiling now, but buckle up, kid, it's gonna suck. I came from it from a very healthy place. So I think that, no, I don't think I think all people have some kind of trauma, and that's a human thing, but I don't think it's there is a stereotype, which is probably true, that comedians have issues, but yeah, I don't think what I'm trying to say is I don't think you have to be messed up to be funny.
Right.
I think you can be
really funny. You
don't
have to go through super messed up things to find things funny and not to get... The big thing is like getting offended and how savage can you be with your jokes. Like I find
and
people from our part of the world can just like, they don't care.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what you say to them. They can just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, like the people have their own trauma or whatever. And like, you know, some people go some people go through wars, and some people, the worst thing that happens to them is like a flat tire. And it's like, it
shows. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But like the experience, how you experience that is all in your own head, right? Like it's like you do, you know, I don't want to get all stoic or anything, but it's like, it truly is, it's not the things that happen to you in your life that it's how you react.
100%.
It's all in here, right?
100%.
That's why you don't need therapy. Just don't be debil.
Just it's that simple. Just
and I don't know. People, there is no like, even if you go to therapy and you fix all your like,
have you ever been to therapy?
No.
Me neither.
I think about it. Sometimes.
I think about it too.
Yeah.
I'm like, could I benefit from? I'm not saying it's bad,
but
like,
then this little voice for some reason with a Russian accent that sounds exactly like my parents just slaps me right into shape. And
Go work hard.
Yeah. So no, I haven't. I had like the same conversation in the green room before my show yesterday, and I never really thought about it because there is that stereotype, and I just like accepted it. Like, yeah, comedians are messed up people. I messed up because my parents are strict, but no, I think I'm fine. I'm happy. All the shit that happened to me, like everything, like I failed, you know, like I did judo, I got injured, I failed technically. I'm not a professional golfer, I failed. I got a master's, I didn't go to med school, I failed. But like all of those failures led me to where I am right now. And I'm honestly like, I wouldn't trade my life for anybody. So like I you know, happy relationship. I'm doing what I love. I'm building something that I feel like, you know, these people, like the cool thing about, I think, doing live shows as opposed to like, I love stand-up obviously, but these Slavic shows that I've been doing, by the way, check me out on tour, Slavic comedy show, is meeting these people in person and what they say. And like your content has this effect on people too, but you see the comments and stuff and it's nice and I'm sure you get messages, but to meet them in person and to hear these stories about, you know, whether it's like I had a couple, like the wife is Chinese and the husband is Russian, and she's using my content, she sends to her husband and she's using it to understand his culture. She's learning Russian and the culture, and it brings them together. And some people, they're using it to you know, also like kind of process their strict upbringing and talking to these people in person after my shows and going like, I'm just like, you know, being silly on camera and I'm having this effect on people. It's unreal.
But there's depth to your content that you probably don't even realize.
Yeah.
You know, I have that too. Sometimes like women will message me and be like, hey, thank you so much for all your content. Because I used to do a lot of like dating stuff. And I still do a fair amount of like relationships and stuff like that, and like comparing kind of the North American ways, the Western ways, and like the Eastern European ways. And I have people message me and be like, oh, thank you so much, because, you know, you're kind of, you're shedding so much light into my husband's life because he now knows where I'm coming from and why I need flowers and roses and all, you know, all these little things that I don't even really think of them as such deep things. I'm just being silly about them. But people view it in a much more deep and more meaningful way. How long have you been with your wife?
We got married in March, so just over a year.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
March last year, so yeah, just over a year. Yeah.
And she right away launched into full support.
Yeah. Or how long have I been, like, how long have we been married or known each other?
How long have we been together?
Okay. Yeah, I didn't prepare for this test.
Oh, shit. I should have warned. What is your anniversary day?
March 30th. The wedding anniversary.
Okay.
The meeting anniversary is like December something. I don't know. Okay, that is Western propaganda. It's not when you meet, it's when you get married, okay? That's when it's serious.
Is it? Because my husband and I got married after like...
But what do you celebrate as your anniversary? When you met or when you...
When we like officially like started basically dating. Well,
really?
kind of when we met, yeah.
So you have an anniversary and a wedding anniversary?
We barely celebrate our wedding anniversary. I'll tell you why. We've been together for almost 11 years. It's our anniversary this coming Friday.
Nice.
And we got married 3 years ago. So I feel like to cancel, you know, 7-8 years of your relationship for an anniversary and be like, oh, we've been like, 2 years or whatever. It's unfair to all the 8 years. So I'm like, we've been together for 11 years. And then if somebody says, when did you get married? I'll say like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And he doesn't remember our wedding anniversary. We both actually missed it this year, but we will remember the August
So for
date.
me, it's for us, it's the opposite. We celebrate the wedding anniversary, I think, but honestly, I can't remember like what our like meeting anniversary was. Cause we've known we've been together for, I think like almost 4 years. So we got married pretty quick, which is more of I think that's like people in this country are like, whoa, but like for back home, it's like for our parents,
people were giving us shit. Like my brother was calling me. He's like, what are you guys doing? Like, come on. Mm-hmm. But we also met when we were really young. Well, I was really young. He's 8 years older than me. But, people get married much quicker because they date to marry. Like I find people in our part of the world, they kind of, for the most part, obviously but if you are dating, the goal is marriage.
My wife definitely was. I don't know if I was on the same page at first with the dating to marry, but she whatever hypnosis she put on me is still very strong. So I'm happy that it worked out that way. Because we met when I'm 26 now. So we also got married young, right? Which honestly, because of the way I was raised, I always wanted to do, but I just went to school here. So I fell into that whole like frat boy, fuck boy thing. And like almost subconsciously, just because like my friends are going out, I was just ended up, meeting girls and dating around, but I never liked it. And then I met her and she kind of checked all the boxes. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Let's do it. It's very simple. I don't know. It's not.
It is actually very simple.
Yeah.
I think people overcomplicate it. And I think it's more about just commitment. I think I recently saw a video about how, you meet someone and you go through the butterfly stage where you like miss all the red flags. And then once that stage is over and you enter the next stage, which is like when you actually start to see each other's differences, many people just give up.
Yeah.
And if you go past, of course, obviously sometimes there's differences that you can't reconcile. I'm not saying that everybody should, get back together with their ex right now or anything like that. But I think people think that you will always have this butterfly season, and unless you're able to maintain it, the relationship's not good.
No, but you guys have been together for a long enough period where that's like truly like, because again, for us, like, not even 4 years, three and something. So it's not even like, it's still, and that is stuff that we're going to have to get through or whatever. But so I can't speak to that, but you definitely can. Cause it's like, and even at my stage, I still feel like, there's like the really early butterflies. And then it's just like, it's a person that you're going through life with. And it's like, there is all these, everybody's different. And there's somebody out there for everybody, or some people like to be alone or whatever. You just have to figure out I think the hardest part about it is figuring out what you want as a person. And that's why maybe people have a taboo about doing it so young. Cause like, oh, you're just a kid. But again, maybe because of how I was raised, I kind of always knew I want kids, I want a family. So like a person that, especially now with what I'm doing, not everybody would be able to, like the lifestyle, like I'm out doing spots and I'm out traveling to different cities so I'm not home a lot. And, sometimes she has like a 9 to 5 and then my job kind of starts when she comes home. Cause then I have to go out and do my shows.
Yeah.
So
in the evening,
and somebody that understands that is supportive is important for me. And I got that out of the way quick because even though I was just starting, and like I said, she almost gave me the confidence to do comedy. I told her very quickly, I knew this is what I wanted to do. And I'm like, are you okay with that? Because even financially, like so I graduated my master's. I had a consulting job lined up and I had to make a decision. Are we doing comedy or are we doing consulting? And I decided to go full into comedy. And, I have been making no money for the first like however long. I'm just starting to finally do okay now. And in the normal dynamic like this, especially with Eastern Europeans, it's like the man makes the money. I asked her, I'm like, are you okay with that? And she was so supportive. And like, come on, like that's it.
I had but I think maybe deep down she also knows that if shit hit the fan, you would
Yeah, I have a master's degree. I can get a job.
Exactly.
Like,
it's not like you were like, I'm just gonna go and.
I'm not a starving artist, and I always like, I did tutoring on the side, so I was never like dead broke. We were living together, so we were splitting rent, and we never had too many issues. It was always like, it wasn't always easy, but it was never like, oh fuck, what are we gonna do, right?
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was never. But still, just her like believing in me that much. Because at the beginning, like with my parents, like I said, I had to like come out of the closet, and then like my friends are like, what are you doing? And it's like my whole life I've been like super serious. I was joking around, but like career wise, I was serious. I was getting my master's. I was checking all the boxes. And for everybody around me, this kind of came out of nowhere, right? And now they're starting to see like, oh, okay, like now that I'm doing well. But at first it was just her.
Are your parents now okay with it?
They do their best. They pretend to be. They've seen me do one show opening for Christina P, shout out, at a theater in Toronto. Packed out theater, like, 1,300 people. And they were like, they saw I did well. They were like, there was like a couple behind them that were like literally like spilling out their drinks. My dad told me, he's like, you did well. I don't understand. Your jokes suck, but good job. You know what I mean? And that was the only time in my life he's told me that he's proud of me. So.
And that's how he told you.
Yeah, with like a backhanded. It wasn't great, but you're doing something right. So maybe it's okay,
My dad's highest form of complimenting, he passed away this past April, was not bad. My dad said not bad. Oh my God, that means he's absolutely in love with whatever he just saw.
Yeah.
Like even like I'd be like, oh, Dad, how do I look? Like we'd be getting ready for a wedding or something. He'd be like, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, and I feel like now that they see that I made the decision and I'm committed to it, and that we've been living separately for a while now. That also really helps at a certain, like, because I know like, back home, they're like the families live together, but there's so much like tension and like,
yeah.
And then there's
no such thing as boundaries. I realized recently the word boundary it's a fashionable thing back home as well nowadays, but it's the same word as granica, which is a border.
Yeah.
And I remember I said that to my mom once, and she was like, what borders are you talking about? What do you mean? You know what I mean? Yeah.
This is it's our country. It's all
it's all the same.
It's the same. Yeah. So my relationship with my parents has never been better than it is now because I'm married. Like they love my wife. They have also a great relationship. She's and they know I'm not gay, so they're very happy. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but they had their suspicions for sure for a while. They're like, where's but that's I don't know. Yeah, they're very happy. They're not, again, they don't express it verbally, right? Yeah. It's like I have like another bit about my dad, like my Russian dad. Yeah, like he never says verbally "I love you," right? Like I don't know if you're a girl. You're
only when he would be like pretty drunk. Very rarely my dad would say it when he was sober.
My dad would never say he loves me. He's like, if I say it too much, you will be gay. And I'm like, Dad, you never say it, and you're not gay. I did my job, so
Oh my God.
But now I had to I was helping him clean the snow this winter, and I wanted to have an emotional talk, and I don't know, his spidey senses, his Soviet spidey senses tingled, and he started running away. Literally, I have to get a drink, and then I'm busy. I'm like, with what? Drinking my drink. And he was just making shit up, And I cornered him like a wild hyena. I'm like, all right, so like, you're my dad, and I want to make you proud, and I'm doing all this stuff, and you show me through your actions that you love me, but you never say it. It would mean a lot if you said it sometimes, or like some I just like, too much. He's like, I said it when you were born. If it changes, I will let you know. Like literally, I'm like, all my stuff, all my jokes are based on my life.
On your dad, yeah.
Yeah.
Very often, if I get a little uninspired or something, I'll usually go back home and my content will just be like writing itself.
Yeah.
My friend will say something and I'll be like, oh my God, yes, this is an inspiration for content. Parents, all that stuff. What would you say to someone, like, you obviously, pursued something that you wanted to do. You had a really supportive partner by your side. Yeah. What if you don't have that? How do you get past?
I don't know. I honestly don't think I don't know what that's why I'm so thankful that I met her, because I don't know if I would even have the confidence to start if it wasn't for what made me start after I met her. That's how, like, that's probably how you know you met the right person. Like and I got lucky I did it early on, but like I was in love with comedy, stand-up comedy since like I got my first like little iPod Touch, and I had like Russell Peters on it, downloaded it when I would go to judo tournaments in the States, and I would listen with my friends with the like Apple, like, you know, the earbuds, and we'd like share earbuds and watch Russell Peters. So I was obsessed with stand-up forever, like as a fan.
What is it in it that you were obsessed with?
I don't know. It's just like stories. People talk. It was funny. I liked funny. I always saw, like, I liked making jokes because it was my defense mechanism. I'm like, oh, these guys are really good at making jokes. So maybe that's where I kind of related to them, and I enjoyed other people that do it. Like, because I was the one making people laugh usually to diffuse the situation. Like if things ever got too serious, I would try to make people laugh. And that's what gave me comfort. This is the first time I'm thinking about it in this way. Maybe on stage. Because on stage,
I'm actually secretly a therapist, so we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. On stage, and there's something else I just thought of. Holy shit. Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Hold on, how much do I owe you, bro? On stage, if you're bombing, that sucks. People, it's uncomfortable. But my comfort. Like, my favorite thing is going on stage and doing stand-up, but doing well, obviously, right? And you see the people smiling, you're making them happy, be it sharing your stories, and that's like the ultimate, like, you know, you just feel good. It's like one of those, you're in the flow state, right? With sports and with stand-up, those are like the moment, and, you know, when you're doing something else, you're in a flow state, and nothing else is in your head.
Yeah.
Right? Very few instances in life does that happen. So I feel like laughter for me was always one of those things that I could do to control the situation, right? So if things got too tense, like even still with my parents, if they're mad or whatever, or with anybody, I make a joke. Sometimes in very inappropriate situations that, you know, that's... Yeah. But honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to... It is what it is. If that screws me over, whatever. It's done me so much good that I'll take it.
Right. And it usually dissolves the situation. I actually kind of do similar things, especially if it's a dark situation. Like I've done that at funerals before.
Yeah.
It's like a coping mechanism, I guess, for me.
Yeah. That
I just start cracking jokes, or like emergency situations. I remember getting evacuated because of a wildfire. We were living in the Okanagan, and I just was cracking jokes with my in-laws.
Yeah.
So it was like...
It works, because that's what life, you know, it's another thing I say in my character. You're born, you suffer, and then you die, right? It's true. Like, and
stoic.
Yeah, very true. And like I said,
Soviet, actually. It's not Sovietism, it's not Stoicism at that point.
Everybody's messed up, everybody suffers. It's like, how can you deal with it? How can you make it less shitty? Because it's shitty for everyone. How can you make it less? What makes it less shitty for you? What is it? Stand up? Good. Fucking, I don't know. Drinking coffee? Good. Like, whatever it is. Find that thing and try to do it. What else?
Thank you very much for tuning into this TED Talk. That was beautiful. No, I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I tend to look at it in a more maybe North American way, that like life is good. Like I force myself to believe in that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the end of the day, you do need something to get your talents out, if anything.
I understand. I do understand how people can see that as a depressing way of thinking, but that truly makes me happy, because it's like it makes me feel at ease. It's like accepting the situation instead of I understand that it's a powerful, like, mental, your brain, again, you can think your way into anything. Like if you believe something's good, you can think. I just prefer to accept it, and that gives me peace. It gives me like extreme, like, peace of like, like, yes, it's a struggle, but like it's good. Like it's a good struggle. Like it's like everybody's struggling, so do what you got to do to get through it in your way, right?
Yeah.
So in a way, it kind of makes me feel at ease without having to like pretend, or, you know, because sometimes like, you know, your father passed away, and like that's a shitty, it's your dad, you know what I mean? You're not gonna pretend that it's like, you can crack jokes, you can make the shitty situation better. You're not gonna pretend it's nobody there, that when you crack that joke, nobody is like, oh, she's happy that this happened. No, you're coping with it in your own way.
You know where I think that comes from? So that building behind you, imagine living, like now it looks actually like somewhat decent and okay, but our people have been living in conditions forever that were I mean, they weren't ideal.
Yeah.
But we learn how to find humor in it. So I think that's where it all comes from, ultimately.
I agree. Like the whole reason that all this, the Slavic culture is so depressing is because we have a depressing history. Like
But we do not have depression.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we don't.
Explain that to me. You live here, but you don't have depression.
Yeah. And that's a common phenomenon. I'm sure like there's like a psychological name for it. You're the therapist, so you maybe but it's like the happier you are, the more problems you have, right? Because at a certain
Isn't
point,
that interesting?
Yeah. So you look at our history and it's like, war, suffering, famine, serfdom, right? All the slavery and everything. There's no middle class. There's oligarchs and slaves and, the Russian Revolution. I'm a huge fan of the Second World War. My great-grandfathers, as I'm sure yours did, like...
My grandfather. Mm-hmm.
You heard the stories and, so I'm... it's a very stereotypical, like, white guy thing to be like just World War II documentaries, but I love it. I like, what was I gonna say? But because of that history, all our art and our, poetry and that's where the depression, I think, comes from. And that's where all these tools that people have, because of all this suffering, they've developed this like mindset and these tools that help them with that in their own way, right? Whereas here in North America, it's more modern, it's different, and we, people are a product.
There's less gratitude, I think, for those things. Like, do you find yourself, even though you were born here, you come from a culture where things weren't this way for a long time. Things have changed quite a bit, but I tend to have, like, whenever I have, like, I don't know, I'm in a bad mood or something like that, I just look around and I'm like, wait a minute. I have, like, 7 kinds of potatoes in the store. I have 5 different kinds of peppers. I'm good, It's safe, relatively speaking. Like, you just walk yourself through, like, a sense of gratitude almost, rather than...
Yeah. I do absolutely.
But it lacks that. I think people who lack that perspective, I think they lack that gratitude.
Absolutely, yeah, because they don't know... and, it's a... Gratitude is very important because, again, it's gratitude is a perspective thing, right? Because you have to think about, you have to shift if you're in a bad mood or whatever, and then you realize, oh, it's not that bad. You're shifting your perspective to have gratitude. So yeah, it makes sense. It's an important thing. I try to, do it for myself every day. And I think, again, that's how remembering those things is how I have this sense of gratitude, because I'm like, life sucks. People are struggling. I'm very lucky. I'm doing all these good things, and I'm have, my family and this and that and food to eat. So that's how, that's my version of gratitude, I guess.
Yeah,
that's
I have a warm bed that's not like the spring mattresses. Have you ever slept on those in Eastern Europe?
Yeah. I love the spring mattresses. I think I grew up on like a spring mattress with a little foam on top. I kind of prefer them, but...
You prefer them? You go on and it's like...
Yeah. I don't, like, my wife takes control of all that stuff now, so I can sleep on the floor if I want to, so... Really? I have no sleeping issues.
Are you a night owl or an early bird? Doing what you do now, like, I'm assuming your shows are pretty late.
Yeah, can you take a guess?
Probably a night owl.
Yeah. I woke up at like 11 today. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So, cause like I know I got home at like 1 a.m. yesterday, cause like my shows on Friday we had a 7 o'clock show, a 9 o'clock show, and an 11 o'clock show, and I was headlining all of those, and I did like 30 to 40 minute sets on all of those. So that's like 3 hours of stage time over a night. And then the 11 o'clock show ends at like 12:30, 1 o'clock. You say goodbye to all the fans. You say thank you, stick around. You thank the owners. You have, the comics talk a little bit.
Of course, you can't just like leave and be like, hey, bye. I'm done.
Yeah. You can, but I like to stick around. And so I get home late and I don't have to wake up early. So I wake up whenever my sleep is important for me. That's my you
have to get your sleep.
I have to get my sleep. So I wake up whenever my body feels like it. And then I do all my, content, whatever I have to do, emails. And I only have to go back to the club at whatever time. So it works.
Yeah. How does it work with your wife? Because she has a 9 to 5. How do you guys... it works fine because she gets what I'm doing, and it's if wherever we have I don't have shows every single day. Right.
In fact, I only have them like a couple times, like actual shows. Like I'll do spots sometimes, but only actual obligations, whatever, a couple of times a week. So I can always make time like for us to see each other, date nights, stuff like that. And she's always on top of me for that. If I'm not, she's like, oh, when was the last time we had a date night? I'm like, yo, she's like, you didn't call it a date, so it wasn't a date.
Y'all are the same.
Yeah,
my husband does the same thing. He's like, I took you out to a restaurant. I'm like, you took me out to a restaurant. That wasn't a date.
If I'm paying money, it's a date. Figure it out, okay?
You're supposed to pay money, period, no matter what. That's just your responsibility.
But why do I have to label it as a date if we're spending
time? Because it's romantic.
Okay. I get it. That's fine. We went to the grocery store. I spent money. That's a date. No, I'm kidding. No, but she's
restaurants are bare necessities, bare minimum, okay? It has to be something special with flowers and everything.
Yes. Yeah, I think my wife's actually she's not really like that. She doesn't require. She's
not super Slavic.
No. She really does.
She's from Surgut.
If I'm not meeting her expectations, I'm doing something really wrong. Because she is a very minimal. For her, the time, the quality of time we spend together is important, and that's what I have to work on. Because even you, I don't know how much of you have this, but being a content creator and a comedian too, I'm always thinking about jokes and angles. I'm thinking about angles, so it's very hard for me to like she will do my videos and like help me film when I need to, but sometimes like that's for her a date where like she's like, switch off your phone. I don't want to hear jokes. I don't want to see you whip out your notebook and write something down. None of that. Just you and me.
But it's so hard because like she'll say something, you'll be like,
there's
a joke out of this. I need to write it. It's
Can I write that down?
It's a date. But how many times does that happen to you that you like have something in your head? Like I have that when I go to bed usually. I'll have an idea in my head and I'll be like, oh, that's an epic one. I'm going to make sure tomorrow morning I wake up and I write it down and it's gone by the morning.
It
and I'm like,
all the time. Fuck. Yeah, you're like, that was gonna change my career. No, yeah.
But then my belief is always like, if that's what's meant to be, it'll come back.
But that's why like my notes app is always, my phone's always I
know, I pray nobody finds that ever because that's a psychotic piece of me. I just like note whatever is on my mind and I'm like, if anyone
my notes app and my my voice record, because sometimes like when I'm doing like open mics or whatever and trying new jokes, I voice record it to listen to it back. Like if I die, let this be on record. Do not go into my notes. Do not go into my voice recordings. I am a good person. Trust me, okay? But let's leave it at that.
It's like just super crazy shit without any context whatsoever.
Yeah. So guys, what do you think about gay dolphins? Just in a basement, nobody laughing. I'm like, here's my take on that. No, but like it's, if I lost my notes app too, I don't know what I would do. I need to like triple back that up.
Yeah.
So it's better, I guess. I don't really write physical note. Like I have a little notebook for comedy, but where I just like do out set lists, which like I'm gonna do this joke, but it's not the actual jokes. It's like, I don't always write out my jokes verbatim, just ideas, but and for if I pray I never lose my notes app. That would be a big hit. But
creative endeavors and creative people, it's kind of, I don't know, it's just interesting how like the minds work in that regard, right? Like when you write a song or when you write a joke, what you choose to do it with, like anything that is in front of you, just to write it down so that you don't lose that idea. But going back to sleep, I agree with you 100% on just even from the cognitive perspective. Like I was reading recently that it improves minimum by 40%, good night's sleep, your cognitive function. And then if you don't have a good night's sleep, it decreases it minimum by 40%.
Do you have any recommendations, by the way, as to how to improve my sleep?
I do have recommendations.
Oh, wow. I would love to.
It really is hard to make it work with my husband because I'm a very light sleeper. Anything will wake me up. My cognitive function is out if I don't get a good night's sleep. We have had Pod 5 from 8 Sleep, which is like a pod that goes over your mattress. Each bedside is operated differently.
Okay.
So it will cool you off individually or warm up.
Okay.
It also can elevate and prevent snoring.
Individual temperature controls are good.
It's absolutely life-changing and you sleep better and you function better. I love it a lot, especially if you have different schedules. It also has an inbuilt like gentle vibration for your alarm.
We thought we'd have flying cars, but vibrating mattresses, I guess.
That's vibrating mattresses and adjusting temperatures. It's phenomenal. You can use my code CRISTINA CATAMAN, all caps, all together. You can get $350 off Pod 5 Ultra and $200 off Pod 5 Core. I feel like for the past year or so, I've been like really struggling with it. I don't know if it's, I don't want to say it's with age because I try to avoid saying that, but it's been more of a
my sleep, I'm really good at sleeping in, because I traveled a lot, even as a kid, for like judo tournaments and then golf tournaments. Like I can sleep in like messed up positions in a bus, you know what I mean? Like, because we would in a car, on planes or whatever. But so my sleep has been fine. What I do want like to avoid is alcohol, because that messes with your sleep, obviously. And being a stand-up comedian, you're out around a lot of alcohol and drugs, and it's always there. And I don't. The drugs especially, but the alcohol, I try to, like, I'm not sober. I'm Russian, so I never will be. But
you live up to your stereotype. Do you like vodka?
I do. I like vodka. Yeah, it's clear. I like vodka. I like tequila. I like a good beer. That's probably my favorite. A nice beer. Just, a cool beer on a hot day. I like all that stuff.
Just by those few past words, without a 23andMe, I could like identify what your blood is made out of.
Yeah.
I like beer, I like tequila, I like beer. Or vodka.
Vodka. And it's like I said, like my dad and I, like that's how Russian, I think that's how Russian dads bond, where they don't say I love you, but we drink together and we talk about our least favorite immigrants as if he isn't one. But I don't know. Like I do you didn't, the getting older thing, I know I'm still young, but when I was in college, I could throw back 12 beers and wake up the next morning and do a marathon, but not anymore.
No.
So that's the one thing where I'll control I like actually drinking, like I still play golf. I like drinking and playing golf with my buddies because it's like spaced out. You're outside somehow, and you have to be careful because, whether you're driving home or not, so you have to be sober by the end. So it doesn't kind of control it, and it doesn't hit you because it's during the day. But if you have like before bed, I try to avoid the drinking. That's the only thing that gets in the way of my sleep.
Same.
Then I wake up and it's like not only the being hungover part, but it's because the drinking impacts your sleep, and I think that's what makes you feel groggy, not necessarily the hangover.
Right.
It's the compound effect.
It gives me like heart palpitations and stuff. I don't, as well as we're supposed to be doing with our
anxiety,
heritage, anxiety, all of that. It doesn't sit well with me whatsoever. I don't like it at all. I like it actually. I'm lying. I do like alcohol, but I don't like the way it makes me sleep after.
Look, it's a big part of, especially depending on your culture, and it's a part of life. And there are like everything is a balance, right? So it's like some people, I know some comics especially, where they're just one of those people where their brain isn't wired the way they can have one beer and chill. One beer turns into 10 beers, and then the drugs, and then the whatever else comes next, the not good stuff, right? So there's people like that, and those people should be sober. But if you can control it and have a good bed, life is about balance. So like it's, and what is like, you're on vacation with, your wife, your friends, your family, have a few shots or a drink, like, for a special occasion. That's what life is about. You know what I mean? So there's, I'm not saying that, I got to stop drinking. No, there's a time and place for it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, as a stand-up, I got to be careful. Like, a lot of the times the drinks are free because, you're doing the club and you're the headliner or whatever, and they'll give you some drinks, and, it's really easy to get carried away with that. And I actually think because I'm around drugs and alcohol so much doing stand-up, that it's very easy for me to it's literally, it's kind of like, and there's a lot of comedians that have to drink before getting on stage. Imagine you had to before clocking into work, you had to get drunk.
Well, I was always wondering, why so many rock stars had such huge problems with drugs. And then you look at their lifestyle. Imagine having to perform at that high level of an energy every night. Like they would have some of these concerts, some of these tours would be insane. They would be packed pretty much every day. They would get like a couple of days here and there. I get it. Like, how are you going to be able to get on stage and perform at the level of a rock star every night to hundreds of thousands of people without some form of a stimulant? You know what I mean?
I get it too, but all of those rock stars usually wean off, and they realize that they do it when they're younger, and they wise up, or they,
and then they're like, hey, we're gonna die. Yeah, exactly.
One or the other, right?
Yeah.
And I was very aware of that, and I want to, I'm in it for the stand-up. I'm in it for different reasons. So I was very careful. I have a rule, like my one rule with alcohol is like, I will be, every time you see me on stage, I'm completely sober. Not even a beer, if you see me if you come to my show and you see me on stage, I guarantee you I'm sober. Because that's my job and I take it seriously. And my job is to be silly and to do jokes, but I take it seriously. I'm there to entertain you. I have to be the sharpest person in the room, right? If something happens, it's my job as a stand-up comedian to bring my energy and give it to you and give myself to you and give, what you paid, get what you paid for, right? So after the show, I love having like a beer or two just to relax, but before the show, never, ever.
Now that I've hit 30, I've also found a new high, so to speak. Like new good feeling, which is a really good night's sleep and a cup of coffee in the morning. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like people underestimate how good that feels after caffeine, you get a good night's sleep.
I do like caffeine.
And then
I've never smoked cigarettes either, but I do like a little. I do like the Zyn pouches sometimes.
Oh, do you?
And that's another thing. When I have a few too many beers and somebody's around with a vape, I'll fiend that vape, but I try not to buy them for myself.
That's growing up in Canada for you. You didn't smoke cigarettes. I find it like
that's very not Slavic of me.
No, very not
vape,
Slavic.
Just be a man, smoke cigarettes. I don't think
disgusting.
I think my parents, if they found out, like if it doesn't matter. I've literally had like maybe in my whole life I've had like 2 puffs of a cigarette off my buddy. I've never had even like a full cigarette, just because of all the they do a good job. When you go to the States, by the way, I don't know if you noticed the way they don't have to have that like warning marketing on the cigarettes. So their cigarettes look like candy packs.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're all like colorful and nice. I'm like,
Here they look horrific.
Yeah.
Like just horrible pictures.
But guess what looks like candy? The vapes, right? And that's why, So there's a reason they do that. But no, like smoke cigarettes like a man, but
Drink vodka, smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. And that is a match made in heaven. I get it. That little like there's something about
My in-laws, I love them. They're Serbian. My in-laws, their day starts with a cup of coffee with a cigarette.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's very European,
That's their breakfast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how? And
cigarette
like they have
breakfast?
to have cigarette for breakfast with a cup of coffee.
For lunch, that's how
and
they
I'm
stay
thinking,
thin.
here I am with all my wellness tricks and get a good night's sleep and nutrition. Don't have coffee on an empty stomach. But no, good for you that you're still doing it in a healthy way.
Yeah, and like as a biochemist, because I have the whole chemistry background, I like to look into like when I go to the gym, I lift and I do all the health nutrition stuff, but I like to. There's some creators that are very like scientific about it. There's this one guy, I forget his name. He's bald. He's anyways, he's a really good guy. He has a PhD in like sports fitness and whatever, and he was talking about the benefits of nicotine, and there are a lot if you do it in like basically
it's like a new biohacking thing, right?
Yeah, it's a biohacking thing. It is. Nicotine itself is a neurostimulant. It's not bad for you. It's actually good for you. It'll make you. It has proven effects on mental acuity, on memory. It improves your memory. It makes you sharp and focused. If you have a little ADHD, it'll kind of focus you in. The bad thing it does is raise your blood pressure, which over an extended period of time, if you're always on nicotine, it can increase your, it raises your heartbeat, which in turn increases your blood pressure, right? It's the bad thing about smoking is the bad thing about nicotine is the delivery method. The worst of all being smoking cigarettes, because you're getting all these carcinogens. Vaping is slightly better because the combustion, in order to inhale something, you need smoke. And in order to make something like a liquid or a tobacco smoke, you need to light it on fire. And the chemical reaction there is called combustion. When you're lighting nicotine on fire, like tobacco leaves on fire, it happens at a much higher temperature than the vape juice.
Well, and there's all the chemicals that they add to the cigarettes too, right?
It's different. So vaping is slightly better, but the best, like the nicotine gums and stuff at lower doses can be very safely, like anything, like, you take, in pharmaceutical chemistry, there's this saying, if there's no side effect, there is no effect. Any drug. If it has an effect, like Advil, ibuprofen, epinephrine and your EpiPens, there's always a side effect. It's the balance of what does this do. Some of them save lives. There's always a side effect. If there's no side effect, there's no effect.
Kids, don't take this as a message to go smoke, please. Do not smoke. Smoking is bad for you.
I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to inform people.
Don't go do it. But
Unless you want to look cool. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that's the thing in Canada. There's like, you look so uncool if
By the way,
smoke.
that's another thing. A lot of people smoked for a while because it was like cool. You know, you see all the characters. It's not cool anymore. It's not cool. And by the way, vaping is even less cool. If you like, I feel embarrassed when I'm hitting the vape. I'm like, please no. I do it. I did. Yeah. You can say it. I do it in the corner, and I'm very ashamed of myself. So don't vape. Don't smoke. You know, stay away from it. I'm just giving you information. You do it. You have free will. Do
it's a free
what
country.
you want.
Do whatever you want.
I came here from Soviet Union, free country. If I want to smoke, I will smoke. You don't have to smoke, but do what you want.
A lot of people in former Soviet Union still smoke. It's crazy. Боже.
Yeah. So
it's actually crazy. But marketing works. Why don't we get into characters?
Sure.
Not that they're necessarily characters, they're part of us. That's part of who we are.
Let's do it.
We talked about sleep, we talked about comedy, we talked about work, we talked about so many things. Supportive partner, which I think is I love that you have that, and I love that you're spreading that message, because I think many people don't have it, or when they get into relationships, they don't realize just how important it is.
Yeah, I kind of keep that. I don't know how much you included in it. So my last thing about this, before we get into characters, I keep it pretty private. Like, I don't keep it a secret, but early on when we were still like, you know, dating, I had her as like a character in a few of my reels, and they went viral. And she has a private, she doesn't really use Instagram, but the next day she had like 300 friend requests or whatever. People found her somehow. I didn't tag her or anything. So I extrapolated that was years ago when I had maybe like 10K followers. Like, even now that would be crazy. And, you know, hopefully where I'm going in my career at a certain point, I don't want her to have to deal with that. It's my choice. This is something that I'm doing. So, and I talked to her about it. I'm like, if you want, you know, some women want to be included in the social media because it's like, oh, why are you hiding me? I had that conversation with her. I'm like, do you want this or no? And so that's why I keep her private for now. I get DMs every day. Oh, are you single or whatever? And if she ever wants to be, can you imagine Russian wife from Surgu? Like, I have so many content ideas. Like, I want to I have so many ideas to do with her, but I respect her boundaries. And, you know, when she's ready for that, it'll happen. But,
and it's a lot to take in too. Like, when you start, nobody warns you about how much hate you will randomly get online, and how much it actually takes. Like, I always say this, like, you shouldn't care, but also it's totally normal that you do when it offloads on you out of nowhere. It's a lot to go through. So
some of those comments hit you. Like, I'm really good at ignoring that stuff, and stand up helps with like the ignoring it. But some you'll see something sometimes that just hits you out of nowhere, like a little. Like right where it hurts the most.
Yeah,
like a liver shot, and you don't. Yeah. So that's why. So probably a lot of people don't know that I am married. It's because that's why. Like, I don't hide it. By the way, which hand do you wear your?
I'm on my left because I want people to know. But as soon as I land in Moldova, I switch to my right.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky because it fits on both. For my husband, he had to get, because he goes, you know, we go to Serbia lots, and his ring doesn't fit on the right hand, so he has to get those little things that.
So I'm having.
Support it.
Well, I love doing my Slavic shows because everybody gets it. They don't question it. But when I do my like just regular shows with people that don't know me, and I do my material about being married, they look at my ring and they're like always somebody from the crowd doesn't even know. They're like, hey, where's your ring? I'm like, I'm Russian Orthodox. We wear it on our right hand. Not that it's any of your business. I have to explain it. So I don't know. Maybe I'll wear it on my left. I don't know. Does it fit on my left?
For most people, it doesn't. No, you can get little things on Amazon. I can send you a link that my husband got because he had the same problem. And we just switched them because.
So maybe I should, because it's like that's the whole point. Like, I'm not a jewelry guy at all. I don't like watches. But I'll wear the ring. But I wear it on my right because that's just It's for those of you who don't know, most Eastern Europeans are Orthodox, and for us, we wear our wedding bands on the right ring finger, not the left. So it's confusing to Americans.
It's very confusing.
Very confusing, yeah. So
I had a couple of times people come up in Eastern Europe when I would still wear it on the left and be like, usually guys, you know how they say
it's
like,
the opposite, yeah.
And guys back home, they do not, like, they're not shy. They will come up to you. If they think you are cute or beautiful, they will come up to you. So there's a couple of times guys will come up to you.
I'm on their side, by the way. Why would
100%. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of instances where they would come up to me and they always say, "Девушка, можно с вами познакомиться?" Which is like, excuse me, like, can I get to know you? And I'm like, well, you can get to know me, but I'm married, kind of thing, you know? And they would right away. They're usually very respectful. They're like, oh, apologies, I didn't see. And then a couple of times, a guy came up to me. They're so blunt there. Yeah. I love it. And he's like, that on your finger. Вы замужем?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm married.
Yeah.
And he's like, but which hand are you supposed to wear it? And I'm like, okay, chill. Like, again. He's like, okay, well, never mind then, you know?
So it's a lot of explaining to do. It's an identity crisis. I don't know which one to...
It really is.
It's all right. You know, mielish.
Yeah. It's the details are not that important, right? As long as it's, as long as you have it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
We are going to get into character and have a separate segment / separate episodes of being in character.
Slavic / Soviet therapy.
There you go. Yeah. We're going to combine our therapy skills. So we will be back with that. But for this episode, thank you, Matthew, for joining me. Matvey. We will include all the links to your content and your pages and your socials and stuff like that in the captions. I appreciate you joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Really good talk. I feel like it was therapy for us to, you know, talk about our own upbringing in the context of being whatever you call it, Canadian, North American now. So thank you for having me. It was fun talking.
This is our place now, our country, I guess, right?
Our country, yes.
Our country.
Never forget.
Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning into this episode. I will see you either next week or this week. We'll see, but I'll see you soon.